I'm a 30-year-old woman, and for as long as I can remember, I've been the afterthought in my own family. My younger brother, Ryan 27M, was always the golden child. If he wanted something, he got it. If I needed something, I was told to figure it out myself. That was the unspoken rule of our household. Growing up, it wasn't just the little things, it was everything. When Ryan wanted a new bike, my parents got him the best model. When I needed one, they told me to save up my allowance. When he turned 16, they handed him the keys to a brand new car. When it was my turn, I took the bus. He never worked a part-time job a day in his life. Meanwhile, I was balancing school, babysitting gigs, and waitressing just to afford clothes that weren't hand-me-downs. College was no different. My parents covered Ryan's full tuition, books, apartment, everything. I had to take out student loans, work late shifts, and still somehow keep my grades up. And even after all that, when I finally graduated with honors, they didn't even bother showing up to my ceremony. They were too busy helping Ryan with his newest business venture, one of many that would crash and burn while they continued to support him. I spent years trying to earn their love, their approval, something. I thought that if I was a good daughter, if I helped them financially when they struggled, if I made time for them even when they didn't do the same for me, maybe things would change. They never did. No matter what I did, Ryan was the priority. But the moment that broke me, my wedding. I met my husband, Ethan, a few years ago, and he showed me what real love and support looked like. When we got engaged, I knew my family had never really been there for me, but I still wanted them to be. I wanted my parents in the front row, watching me walk down the aisle. I wanted my brother standing somewhere in the crowd, at least pretending to be happy for me. They RSVP'd, yes, they promised they'd be there. And yet, when I turned to look at the seats reserved for them, they were empty. Not a call, not a text, nothing, just gone. I tried to keep it together, smiling for the cameras, focusing on Ethan and the life we were about to start together. But I kept looking back, expecting them to rush in, to be late but at least show up. They never did. Days later, when I finally got a hold of them, my mom sounded annoyed that I was even asking. Apparently, Ryan had a small emergency. His dog had an upset stomach, and they couldn't just leave him alone. That was their excuse. That was the reason they skipped my wedding. When I told them how much it hurt, my mom laughed, said I was being dramatic and it wasn't that big of a deal. My dad didn't even say anything, just let out one of those sighs that made it clear he thought this was all a waste of time. Ryan? He just said, "You're not actually mad about this, right?" As if I was the crazy one. I don't know what snapped inside me at that moment, but I hung up. I blocked their numbers. I deleted them from social media. For the first time in my life, I decided I was done trying. And the worst part, they didn't even notice. Months passed. No calls, no texts, no apologies. It was like I had never existed to them. And then, a few weeks ago, my aunt called. She isn't someone I'm particularly close with, but she sounded hesitant, like she wasn't sure if she should even be telling me this. Apparently, things weren't going well for my parents and Ryan. She didn't give details, just that maybe it was time to talk, that maybe I should give them a chance to explain. I had no intention of hearing them out. I had given them years of chances, and they had wasted every single one. But then something shifted in my mind. At first, I told myself this was about closure. Maybe I needed to hear them acknowledge what they had done. But deep down, I knew I wanted to see if they had changed, if they had any regrets at all. And if they didn't, then at least I'd have my answer. So I agreed to meet them. One time. One chance. They didn't know it yet, but depending on what they said at that table, I was either walking away for good, or I was about to make them regret everything. The restaurant was already half full when I walked in. The low hum of